Hello, this is Jennifer Terry and welcome to my channel. In this video, we will talk about money. How much money do you need to travel to the Philippines? So this video is made for non-OFWs, former Filipinos, and foreign nationals traveling to the Philippines. You are an OFW or an overseas Filipino worker, you're registered with OWA. You don't have to worry about these things because the government will pay for you. Will pay everything for you. And also, if you are a family of an OFW and you are traveling with your OFW family, you're good. You will also be shouldered by the government. So really, this video is for those who need to pay for everything by themselves. In this video, my goal is to help those planning to go home to the Philippines, to give you an idea on how much money do you need to prepare for your travel to the Philippines. One word I have to say is that it is expensive. So let's go through the expenses together. Under the directive of IATF on COVID-19, the Philippine government has been implementing quarantine and testing procedures for all passengers ever since this pandemic started. All arriving passengers, Filipinos, foreign nationals, former Filipinos, vaccinated or not. Okay, again, even if you're vaccinated, you will undergo the same protocols. Even if you're pregnant, even if you're a senior citizen, you will undergo the same protocols. And what is the protocol? This new protocol took effect just last February 1. This protocol is that all passengers arriving in the Philippines, when they arrive in the Philippines, they will go straight to the hotel for a quarantine, and while waiting for their COVID test. Their COVID test will be done or will be administered on the 6th day. 6th day from the date of arrival. Okay? There will be no more COVID tests at the airport. You go straight to your quarantine hotel. Okay, so the results of the COVID test, again, which will happen on the 6th day, takes within 24 hours after you get your, let's hoping, negative COVID result. You may obtain your Bureau of Quarantine medical certificate online for clearance. And then once you are cleared at your hotel quarantine, then you can call your relatives and coordinate with your local government unit to pick you up or arrange for your transportation going home. So let's go to the expenses. So this new protocol compared to the 2020 arrival protocols is really more expensive. Why is it more expensive? Because you have to stay longer in the hotel quarantine. Unlike before, you only have to stay 1 to 2 days. With this new protocol, you have to stay for at least 7 nights, 7 days. Too much talk. Let's go straight to the breakdown of expenses of your arrival in the Philippines. So we won't account for the cost of the plane tickets because really it varies. A lot of, it varies on your country of origin, it varies on your airline, it varies on what type of, are you flying economy, are you flying first class? It depends. So I'm not gonna go into that, but if you're curious on the Philippine Airlines flight schedules, you can check out my last video. I did some price checking as well in that video. So yeah, go ahead after you watch this video if you want to know the schedule of Philippine Airlines. Now let's go for the expenses. Let's start with the hotel transfer. So after you arrive, you go straight to your hotel quarantine, yeah? The transportation for that will be shorted by the traveler, by you. So how much? So it depends on the distance of your hotel from the airport. So for this video, this expense, we will make an allocation of 700 pesos. Okay? Airport transfer for 700 pesos. That's our first expense when we arrive in the Philippines. So for this transport from airport to hotel, you have 4 options. The first one is a pre-arranged hotel transfers. The second one is shuttles or vans. Next one is metered taxis, and last one are coupon taxis. So these transportations are available for you at the airport. So for the pre-arranged hotel transfer, you have to arrange that with your hotel of choice. And reminder that pick up by relatives, private cars are not allowed. You can't be picked up by a relative from the airport, okay? Only these 4 transportations you can avail. You cannot avail of other options for your transfer, okay? Just these 4. So that's our first expense, our airport transfer. Our next expense is the COVID test. For the COVID test, it will be done on your 6th day from the date of arrival. It will be done in your quarantine hotel or in your quarantine room or in a prescribed area in your quarantine hotel. And the cost will be 4,000 pesos. So for this one, you may pay in cash, you can pay through Philippine peso, or you can pay through US dollars. You may also use your debit or credit card, and you can also withdraw money through an ATM machine at the airport. They are available, and there are also open money exchange booths at the airport. If you fly with Philippine Airlines, you will undergo their testing. They have their own private lab, and that is called the Toxicare. So when you arrive in the Philippines, on the 3rd day, you will receive an email, and then you can register for your COVID test there. Now, if you are not flying with Philippine Airlines, you may choose between Red Cross or PadLab. Regardless of what testing you choose, the cost is the same. That's 4,000 pesos. Next expense is the biggest expense. That is the hotel. How long will you stay in the hotel? Again, at least 7 days. For foreign nationals, a pre-booking of a quarantine hotel for 7 nights is a requirement for entry into the Philippines, okay? Again, if you are holding a foreign passport, then you need to pre-book your quarantine hotel for 7 nights before you travel to the Philippines, because your foreign airline or your airline will look for that upon check-in. So basically, you'll be paying for 7 nights for your hotel. 7 nights. Again, for the quarantine hotels, there's so many options. There's more than 200 hotels you can choose from. There's 5-star hotels, there's 4-star hotels, there's 3-star hotels. So many options. But in this video, since we are, assuming that we're choosing an affordable option, the cheapest I have found is a 1,200 pesos quarantine hotel. If you want to know what hotel is that, check out my video, affordable quarantine hotels, which I just uploaded I think 2 days ago. You can check out that video. So the cheapest that I know is 1,200 pesos per night. So that is room only, no food included. But as I said in my previous videos, I really suggest that you guys stay in a hotel that already includes, full board meals. Room plus full board meals, because it's just much easier, you don't have to think about ordering. And sometimes ordering, it will cost you more because you'll have to pay for delivery fee, and then you'll have to wait for the food, So in this video, we will consider 2,500 pesos for the quarantine hotel nightly rate. So again, if you want to look for an affordable quarantine hotel, check out my channel. I just uploaded that 2 days or 3 days ago. There's quite a few hotels there that only cost 2,500 pesos, and they already include full board meals. So how much for your quarantine hotel? Basically, 2,500 pesos times 7 nights. The total is 17,500 pesos. Oh, expensive. That's more than the average monthly salary in the Philippines. Really expensive to go home, guys. So again, for the quarantine hotel, we're considering 2,500 pesos. So times 7, that's 17,500 pesos. Okay? But if that's too expensive for you, if you want to be in a super saver mode, you want to be in a you are really in a tight budget, so you can consider the 1,200 quarantine hotel. Just thinking that you bring your own food. I mean, if you can live on canned goods, biscuits for 7 nights, you can bring food, put it in your luggage, then you can survive for 7 nights bringing your own food, so you only have to pay for the quarantine hotel. So let's say you do that, you bring your own food, and you want to stay in the cheapest hotel, that's 1,200 times 7, then your quarantine hotel will only cost 8,400 pesos. So big difference. Yeah, more than half you can save. Okay, so that's for the quarantine hotel. Again, we have two options: 17,500 with food, 8,400 without food. But that's the cheapest one. And availability is pretty competitive for these cheap hotels. So make sure if you want to, secure your room for that cheap hotel, pre-book. That's all, friends. It's pretty short. So basically, it's airport transfer, and then COVID test, and then quarantine hotel. I didn't consider food because, again, guys, I really suggest that you stay in a hotel that already includes full board meals. So how much is our total expenses? Swab test, 4,000. Airport to hotel transfer, 700 pesos. Hotel, 17,500. Total of 22,200 pesos. Very expensive, guys, to go home to the Philippines, and this estimate is already a sensible estimate. I'm sure that other people spent more than this amount, 22,200 pesos. So anyone out there considering of going home to the Philippines, especially just for vacation, think again. Now, if you want to go to the super saver mode, the cheapest hotel, so 4,000 for the swab test, airport to hotel transfer 700, and then the bring your own food hotel, the cheap hotel, the 1,200 times 7, your total estimate expense would be 13,100 pesos. Big difference, yeah? And I also want to take note that people with disability, if you're registered with the Philippine government, you have an ID. Senior citizens, you have an ID, senior citizen ID, you can avail of discounts for your swab test and your hotel. If you guys have any questions, comment down below and I'll try my best to answer it. I hope that this video gave you an idea on how much money you need to prepare when you're going home to the Philippines. As I've said before, going home to the Philippines is not so much practical if you're only going home for a vacation for just, let's say, 1 month. It's not practical. But if you're going home to the Philippines for good, then no problem. If you're staying there for longer than 2 months, 3 months, a year, then I think it's worth it. Again, if you're only staying for less than 1 month, I don't think it's practical if your reason is only vacation. But each to their own, right? So thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions, comment down below. Don't forget again to like this video, share this video to anyone you know who is considering of going home to the Philippines, just to give them a heads up, an idea on what's waiting for them and how much money do they need to prepare. So that is all for this video. Actually, if you have traveled to the Philippines, I know that we have subscribers who have already traveled, If you have some tips, comment down below, share it to others. Let's help one another. That's what this channel is for. So anyway, that's all for this video, friends. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again. Bye.